Okay, the blue button, please. So, hello, persons from YouTube. Good morning, I'm Gabi, and today the topic is memories. I'm here with Ayla, Breno, and Vanessa. We have a great topic today with our great persons, and I hope we have a better conversation. And guys from YouTube and with me, this conversation is 100% in English. I'm not here to teach you. I'm not here to correct you. But if you have problems, tell me, and I try to have a solution. And guys from YouTube, this conversation is immersion conversation. But if you want to have a teacher to talk, you are beginner, intermediate, and you want to face the immersions, go to TNT website and you see all the language classes like French, Italian, Spanish, and English also. So yeah, now we start, and we start with the presentations. So Vanessa, hello, present yourself, please.
Hello, my name is Vanessa. I'm 38 years old. I live in São Paulo. I'm married. I have a son. No pets, but I love pets. I work in an insurance company. I am studying languages at college. That's it about me.
Oh, it's great. So welcome. And Ayla, go ahead, present it yourself, please.
Hello, guys. Good morning. My name is Ayla. I live in Belém, Pará State. I live here with my family, and my husband and my daughter. And we have a little dog. Our dog, it's not our baby. So I have a degree in law. That's why I work as a public servant in a judicial area here. And I've been studying English for about 2 years, and I'm here on TNT since last year. And I'm here because I want to improve more and more my confidence. It's no easy, but I think I'm getting better, but I need to better more. So yeah, guys, that's it. Thanks for listening.
Oh, it's great. And I remember you 1 year
Yeah.
ago. But so nice to see you growing up. So thank you, Ayla. And Breno, about you, man. Talk a little about you.
Hello, everyone. I know some of you, but I don't think I know Vanessa. I graduate in the advertising area. I'm a bachelor in advertising. Yesterday at the English immersion, we were talking about childhood, so it was really nice because I consider myself a nostalgic person. So I like to remember the good memories, the good times I had when I was a child or when I was a teenager. So that's a random fact about me. I'm married, and yes, I think that's it. I'm glad and I'm excited to talk to you today about memory, by the way.
It's great. Maybe the topic yesterday, it's not the same as today, but correlated, right? Memories and talking about teenagerhood and childhood. What's nice. So guys, about the questions. Question number 1. Do you have a good memory or a bad memory? Ayla, I want to know about you.
So I think my memory is kind kind of good. It depends on the day. Because there are days I remember everything in details. So, and the other days it's so bad. I don't know. I don't know because this. I think it's curious because sometimes I remember what happened with me in my childhood or my teenager when I was teenager, and I think it's very curious. And on the other hand, I can't remember what happened with what happened last week. So I think it's
Crazy.
very crazy. But I think my memory so far is quite good. I remember when I was at school and or at college, I I had easily to remember about the lessons, and yeah, it's kind of good.
Oh gosh, so different because the persons don't remember the past away. So I am this kind of person. You said about the school. I remember everything about college, but at school have some topics I hate, such as math. I hate math. So always when I remember the classes in math, I remember
Me too.
myself crying or something like that. Oh, horrible, horrible. I hate. But I want to remember all my childhood. I have some problems to remember specific things. Like my mother remember, but when my mother tell me, I feel like no, no, I'm not doing that. I don't remember, so I don't do, right?
Yeah.
I think it's like that. But I want to say as Isla, like I don't remember 1 week ago, but I remember. I don't want to remember the horse weekends and things not good for life, but don't work with that. Don't work like that, right? Unfortunately. And you, Breno, you said you have a good memory.
No, I don't have a good memory. I just like to remember when I do.
Uh,
But yeah, I think actually every one of us has this small lack of memory for daily situations. I think it's normal. And besides, I have an eye for details. For example, I can remember your characteristics or Isla or Vanessa characteristics very well. But as the time is going away, if I don't talk to you anymore, I will kind of forget about you, because I think that memory as our body is a muscle. It's like a muscle, so you have to exercise it every day or every week when you have a chance to feel healthy. Have to have a mental memory healthy. So that's why I normally sometimes I use this. It's you know it's let,
oh, yeah. Now
let
I
me
get
try
it.
to. So I use this and I try to exercise and find the words because I think it's good for memory, but I just did it once. In fact, I have to come back to it. And besides that, I'm also trying to, it's not just for memory, but I like to have some omega-3, and I think that's it. I'm not good at memory, but I try to save the good memories I have. I wish I could forget the bad memories, but sometimes it's hard. Sometimes they are the only memories that remains in our head, unfortunately, because if we could separate and select the good ones only, it would be awesome. So yeah, and just fun fact about that topic, I remember a quote I memorized when I was a kid at school, because I was doing this. I don't know how to say that, but it's like science event, science event like we normally have when we are kids at school. So I remember the quote I memorized to repeat it, because I had to repeat it the whole day, almost the whole day. So I remember that hot dogs was invited in 1903 in the 19th century for a guy from St. Louis, Louisiana, United States. So that's a fun fact, because I just remember that. But in
So
Portuguese, of
specific.
course. Yeah, it's in Portuguese, but I try to translate it. But yeah, it's funny how I remember that. It's useless, I wish I could change this memory to a good other memory, because yeah, that's it.
I
But
love that
our brain is insane. I like how brain, is good to learn new things. And yeah, I wish I could use more my brain.
Me either. Like you said two things really interesting, like the physiology of the brain. It's so hard to understand. The neuroscience around the brain is really specific. So if you don't have a specific vitamin, maybe you feel tired all the day, all the week. So maybe memories is like that. You said about omega-3. It's important to have the omega-3 in your brain, in your cells, in your muscles, because if you don't have, maybe you feel tired, you forgot things. So yeah, it's close than a person who never remembers the things. Maybe the person has a lack of the substance in the body. And the second thing you said about the phrase you remember in your childhood, have a song. I always remember, because when I was a girl from a church, my mother always put me in a singing class in church, this kind of thing. So I remember all the songs, and I have 7 years old. And nowadays, if I put some music in my memory, maybe tomorrow I don't remember. So I totally feel you, Breno, because sometimes I'm in my bed, stay alone, and a music appear in my mind. So so crazy, right? I love kind of thing. And you, Vanessa, you have a good memory?
Yeah, depends. For example, if the situation if I had a good experience with the situation, I remember. Or maybe bad experience too. I remember. But for example, about numbers, I don't have a good memory, and the face about people that I meet, and I didn't have a contact, and one day I met the people again. I forgot, and it's terrible because people remember me, and they ask, "Oh, how are you?" And I wonder myself.
Are
It's
you?
terrible. Yes, I don't remember. And I am telling the people to give me a tip. Give me a tip about where he work. I don't know. Terrible.
Maybe you catch the memory.
Yes. I but it depends if I like I like it, the situation, if I had a good experience. For example, I studied English and I started when I was 19, 20 years, uh, and I gave up and I returned now when 37 years old. But I remembered all my basic level. I remembered everything, the verbs, the basic structures. I remember many things, but math, as you said, I hated. I don't remember. That's it. Numbers. I'm a bad memory.
I understand you completely. I hate numbers.
Numbers.
Oh gosh, if you put like a lot of numbers and a lot of letters, I enjoy a lot to do everything you tell me to do with letters. But numbers, I feel confused, and I use numbers. Like don't make sense because I hate math and I love chemistry. Like don't make sense.
Basic
Like,
math, but for example, equals, I don't know, equações, fórmulas. I forgot.
oh, go ahead. But yeah, I hate to. But it's a kind of thing I used to hate since I was born. So for me, it's normal. Hate numbers. But Vanessa, I'm kind of person like you. Like I remember your eyes, your hair, the color of your hair, the color, how you smile, how you some kind of behaviors, but I have a problem with names.
Names.
Names. I always forget. Like if I see the face of Breno, but maybe if Breno doesn't have the name, I feel like, who are you? I know you, but I don't know your name. So I passed some weird situations because of that in the street. The person said, "Oh, I see you yesterday in a club," and I feel like, "Oh, oh, cool! It's so cool!" And your
And the
name?
person remember your name. Hello, Gabi.
And
Who
you
are
see a
you?
person. Yeah, you see a person in a festival. Once in a blue moon, you see a person, you feel like, girl, I remember your name. And I have a fun fact about it. I passed 1 week. Today was a close friend of mine, but when I know this person, I passed 1 week and I don't know the name of the person because other persons don't know who is the person, only me. So I passed 1 week, and the end of the week, the girl said to me, "Why you never told my name?" And I tell, because I don't know.
No.
At the moment, I want to die. But yeah, she laughing a lot and tells the name. The name was so simple, and I don't remember. It's like Lara, the name. So simple, right? So, I forgot. I have this problem. But I have a question for you, Ayla. Question number 5. I skipped some ones. Many people find that a certain sound or smell brings back a childhood memory very strongly, such as the smell of a food that your mother often cooked for you. Uh, what's this effect on you? Do you have this kind of memory, like smell, sound? Do you have?
Yeah, I I have it happened with me. Uh, as I said, I remember about my childhood. I think I remember more about what the special moments for me. For example, when I learned to ride a bike, and it was so difficult, and I fell down, and I cried. I hurt myself, and I remember I remember very well about this happening, because when I I could to ride a bike. Oh, it was so good. I feel very happy. I think when something our shocked to us, I think it's easy to remember. Or when I was at the high school, I I remember about the one colleague's name. Uh, he, every time teacher call him, uh, we left in the class because his name he was a little longer. He was Leonidas. So I I think maybe one time I heard a scientist talking to about this, and he said when something shocked, or when there is a difference, uh, it makes us to remember easily about the thing, because because the name is different, the most student we remember more easy, and I think it makes sense, because when something happened with me and it shocked me a lot, I don't forget. It's I would say it's more difficult to forget about it. Uh, so about the food, yeah, I think it's very common. I think I remember about the smell cakes my mom made at a Christmas or for my birthday, and when I smell, uh, I remember this moment as well, and I think I think about the colors. I don't know why, but colors brings me a good memories. Yeah, as well. So
So nice. So nice. Right. Like you said about food. I always remember when my mother do a kitchen, with rice, beans, and tomatoes. I always, when I smell the I don't know, smell chicken, I remember this plate. My mother used it to put for me, and all kind of pasta. I remember the smell, miles away, I will see you do a pasta. So it's so important to have this kind of thing, right? And you said about bad things happen and you remember so strong. But like some days, this kind of thing is a kind of alert, right? Like you remember you stay in a situation and your brain remember you a really bad moment of your life, and you feel like, why I remember that now? Maybe it's alert. Maybe I need to fight or run. I don't know. I always have this kind of, I remember red flag in my mind. So if I smell something that remembers me a bad moment, maybe I get out of the room, I get out of the place, because I have afraid to happens again. So maybe it's a thing of my strange brain. And you, Vanessa?
About smell, I remember my childhood when I smell material, scholar material, color. I don't know the name in English. Color pencil. I don't know, aquelas massinhas de modelar. When the teacher doing making a test, the alcohol smell, aquela the machine. I don't know the name. This smell, I like it. I remember when I was children. About food, I'm bread, pão caseiro, I don't know, because my mother always cooked the bread for us, and the smell is so delicious. I remember. That's it.
Oh my gosh, so delicious. I love bread too. But yeah, you remember me something. Always when I smell talco, because my nephew has a lot of that, and talco or something.
Gabi?
Sorry. I don't know what's happening. Okay, sorry. I come back. So always when I smell something, like remember a baby smell, I remember my first class of ballet. I don't know why. I think because we put on the shoes to dance. So I don't know why, but always when I smell something closer than I smell of a baby, I remember the ballet class and the girls run and try to fix hair. So it was amazing. I don't know why, but I love it. Kind of thing. Love it. And you, Breno, what's the effect on you? You remember some sound?
Yeah, I have some effective memories. I got two related to smelling. Actually, hearing, which is the sound of the old games. We had the Super Nintendo at the time, and we used to have these plastic slots which is the game. It was inside the plastic slots. So I can remember when we were trying to get a game in a box, like normally in the shoe box, we put all the games inside the shoe box. And when we are choosing the game, the sound of the plastic crashing in each other, like check, 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 check. I can remember the sound of it. It's really nostalgic. And yeah, and the sound of, for example, Super Mario, when you are playing, you know, these small sounds. And when you start the game, you have this blink. It's when the game is rolling. And then I also remember the sound of the main street in my hometown. When I was a kid, I used to walk a lot because I didn't have obviously a car or anything like that, because I was from the countryside. So I used to walk through the main street where it's like, I think every city has this street, this main street. It's called Rua do Comércio, Rua do Mercado, or something like that. And then we have this sound box on the posts, you know, the light posts and the energy posts, power posts. We have this box where they were playing songs, normally forró, and radio as well, with someone, you know, doing some advertising. Oh, go, vamos comprar não sei o quê, something like that. So I can remember this. And every time I come back, I feel like I'm a kid. Every time when I come to my hometown, I feel like I remember that, you know. And I have, beside of that, a visual memory when I look to my hand, because I have a little sign here. I think you are not able to see it, but it's like a little sign here. So I remember that I just have this. It's almost gone, but since I was a kid, I remember to watch this, you know. So then today I am 30 years old, and sometimes when I look at it, I feel like it reminds me when I was a kid, you know. It's interesting how we get old, and it's hard to be an adult sometimes. And that's it, guys. And of course, I wrote here just real quick, the smell of dirty streets, you know, trails. When rains and it's hot, the streets are hot, and then it rains, and then you smell that smell of water, you know, from the rain. It's nice.
Oh, I love to this kind of smell. And I love the smell of flowers too. Like my mother said, oh, I have a mystic thing around that. But for me, it's only a smell of flowers. And Breno, you remember me the song of Street Fighter. I don't know, but I remember this song to play to my aunt, my cousin, my aunt, and my brother. And my brother always tell me, oh, you never win. And nowadays when play again, I always win. I love that. But it's a really kind memories. And I remember too, you said about the streets. I remember to stay with my mother in Aurelião to get some fishes to what to tell and have some gossips with friends who you don't see a lot. So awesome. you brings me a lot of funny memories right now, Breno. And I have an interesting question for you, Breno. If you could edit your memories, which one would you erase and why?
I would erase when I was a bad student, the memories when I was a bad student, because You know what? I think it's not only I got some traumas because I was too hard to deal with, and people they used to bully me a lot because of it. So I feel like I was someone that people sometimes don't get too much attention to. So sometimes I feel lonely because everyone doesn't want to be by my side because they would be um, mix it, with me, and people would say that if they are walking side by side, they would be the same person like me, But I was a good student. I got good scores on Portuguese, history, and special this kinds of area, not math or not chemistry and at all, but I got good scores. But yeah, I would erase this part of my life. I would say I know, sometimes everything happens for a reason. And when I look back to my past at school, I feel like I have to, sometimes it was worth it to have these experiences so I can feel proud of myself about who I am today, because everything I achieved, every goal I achieved today was because I have this, I switched my mind and I changed, and I could see people, for example, in my school at the time, they were the top list guys, they were the best at the time. But nowadays, some of them didn't have the same, uh, of course, everybody has his own history, own story, actually. Well, people expect that they became a doctor, become engineer or something, and most of them just didn't have the same opportunity, probably, or the same, mentality to keep going and move forward. So I feel proud of myself in the other hand. So I think it has to happen to feel so I can feel proud. That's it. Sorry, I talked too much.
No, don't say sorry. And Breno, I totally feel because I have the same experience. I was good in everything besides math. All of my scales in math was terrible, but the rest was so high. So some expectations in other classmates are so high, and I remember to have a director said to me like, "Oh, you never do that because you never had the grade as your classmates." And as you, Breno, nowadays the persons who studied with me in this time have so much goals in the childhood life, but when growing up, don't follow these goals. Don't I think don't follow the other person's expectations. And this director today tells me apologize and said, I remember to tell you this thing. Yeah, sometimes things bad thing happens, and I guess is make you growing up, right? So I don't have paying more about it.
Yeah, and you know what
A
I think
little.
sometimes? Yeah, sometimes I think that, of course, I had good friends at the time. I was not so lonely. When I say lonely, it's just because I was not popular, because normally we have this image of someone being popular at school. So it's just, what I would say, a lack of memory now. So I'll be real quick. Is that, oh gosh, I forgot it. You can go ahead. Then when I remember, I come back here.
Okay. But I understand you. I'm not a popular person too. I'm always a extroverted person, but I'm like, I understand how you want to pass. Like, if you have a lot of friends, but in some
Yeah, that's
instances,
it. If I had a lot of friends,
no.
if I was loved too much, and
Yeah.
today I face some hard situation in life, like when I feel rejected today. So it would be really hard for me because I didn't have this experience at school, you know? So that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So I think that experience being a little bit rejected at school makes me feel more stronger today facing similar situations today. So that's it.
Yeah, me either. And when you see something, you get it so easily, you feel like, maybe not is that. Maybe I'm not able. Sometimes I face it. That too. I don't know if you face it, but sometimes I face it. So, hello, persons from the other room. How was the conversation? Andressa, how was the conversation, girl?
Was really nice conversation. We talk about our bad and good memories, about our past, things that we can remember from childhood. So that was a really nice experience.
So I hope you like the conversation, as you said. And guys, I sent on the chat the link for the feedback, but I have a question for Pedro. Question number 9. Do you have a photographic memory? Do you know anyone who has a photographic memory?
Yeah, I think everyone has photographic memories, but I don't remember one in this moment.
Get it.
And for example, I will bring something. In the past, the people would to have albums with photographs, with pictures, talking about that way. Today, I think no one that is young have that. We have a cell phone with a lot of pictures, but we don't see more of that. So I remember when we are moving, we find this album and say, oh, look this picture, look this memory. Today, we don't have this more. So I think that I don't have pictures, I don't have photographs, so I have only my cell phone with that.
Yeah, but you know, have some parts of the week we have some events like Children's Day. So you always take your book of memories and you said, oh, mother, I was so fat when I was a baby. And in some in some moment you have a lot of photographs of you and your friends in a club. Maybe in 10 years ago, you see your children's only in a scroll on Instagram. So you're right, Pedro. Yeah, it's good. It's something because it's more practical. If someone wants to see your friend, a nephew, your mother, you will see in your phone. But I don't know. I like the nostalgia think of open an album, we stay together with your family, say, oh, you do that when you're a child. So yeah, amazing. I like this kind of thing too. And about you, Vanessa, you have a photographic memory?
Yes, this week, for example, my company asked just a picture when we was child because they prepared a presentation, um telão, and I was looking for my best picture because terrible. And I found a cute picture and I I sent I sent then my photo and I as Pedro said, nowadays We don't have a picture album. I remember I was waiting anxious my parents revelar, I don't know in English, the photos because we bought a film and we need to wait the picture ser revelada, I don't know. And some pictures sometimes doesn't wasn't good. Sometimes queimava. But nowadays we can see the picture and take other picture until we like. That's it. My photographic memories is about picture albums, and when I see my picture albums, I remember many good things about my childhood.
That's so great. Yeah. And I have a lot of photos. You don't see me. You see on the dark, only the dark. So I understand you. It's funny. It's funny to see.
Yes.
I don't know if you follow on Instagram the Talk and Talk, but we have a lot of pictures of us hosters and hosts as a babies, as a child, and I appear too. So
I see. You see.
I guess it's not you can't see now, but I tell for the persons to put again because it was so lovely. You see a lot of persons like me, and I love it. I love this kind of jokes. so kind. So guys, the time was running, but I sent on the chat the link for the feedback. Please go to the feedback. I always have this kind of joking: 0, you hate me; 10, you love me. And I really want you to love me, so you want to say something was anonymous. 11, I love.
I suggest to return this topic because it's
have more questions, right?
Memories part 2.
Yeah, it is a really nice topic, and I think we didn't went through all questions.
Yes.
Maybe I put on my meeting, or I will send for Ana Paula, and she puts the second part. Okay, I will put in my notes that this feedback, guys. Thank you. Have a lovely day. It's Friday, so open a beer or a wine in some moment of the day and enjoy.
Thank
so
you.
bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye, people.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.